Oh, hey there. Yeah, you might not recognize me because I've been in isolation for the last 4 billion years, along with my other fellow anoxic bacteria. Yeah, being a bacteria is pretty nice, especially an anoxic bacteria. You just hang around in environments with lots of energy, like these underwater volcanoes, where you can absorb their heat and munch on all their delicious minerals. Viruses have been in the news a lot lately, but you know what? Bacteria have been around for a very long time. Since the end of the Hadean Eon, which was a hellish place, a hellish time frame here on Earth, where, there was lots of lava spread out on the surface. Not much life could grow, but eventually life did evolve here on the planet. You know what? Bacteria might not have been the first, but they are one of the most successful organisms to ever exist here on Earth. Bacteria like me, we reproduce asexually. We just split ourselves in two, multiply our DNA, and pass on that genetic code to our offsprings. We can reproduce really fast, but generally, we just make copies of ourselves, so we evolve really slowly. But we do evolve over time, and a new type of bacteria called a cyanobacteria was able to change the game. About 4 billion years ago, these photosynthetic organisms like stromatolites, these algae growing in shallow oceans, were able to utilize the sun's energy instead of relying on volcanoes. These bacteria soaked in the sun and produced their energy and also a byproduct, a waste product named oxygen. This started a great dying event, a huge extinction all over the earth where most of the organisms at the time died because they couldn't handle the oxygen. Oxygen is really corrosive, and you know what? It destroyed a lot of creatures. We call it the Great Oxidation Event. Yeah. And it was a troublesome time for people, or bacteria, like me, living in these oceans. These jerk bacteria producing all this oxygen made it hard for bacteria like me, which were not evolved to survive in the oxygen-rich environment. Oxygen in the oceans bonded with iron, forming rust deposits, which can be found in the rock layers dating back to these early times. Also, oxygen in the atmosphere was able to do chemical reactions with methane, reducing the methane in the atmosphere, which is a greenhouse gas, making it nice and toasty. But with all the methane gone, it turned into snowball Earth, which was a problem for many of the organisms. This great oxidation event was the first big extinction here on planet Earth, but there were many more extinctions to come, including 4 other big ones, which hopefully you should be doing some research on. This great oxidation event chased bacteria like me, these anaxic bacteria, away where oxygen wouldn't bother them, like in the deep oceans or in hydrothermal ponds, like you can find in the geysers of the Yellowstone National Park. But anyways, I'm going to pass it off to the new jerk in town, the new green algae that, he just sucks.
Yeah, I'm what that little twerp called a stromatolite. I'm pretty much just people call me a lump of algae, but I like to think that I'm more than just a lump of algae. You guys are a bunch of losers, died off. As you can see, I like to reside in, shallow waters. And I pretty much just do this. But you know what? I just like to relax and take it all in. The sun's really nice, the water. I like to emit oxygen. It's pretty much what I do. Yep, good old oxygen. In fact, that amoeba thinks he's so cool when he died up because I was just being me. Just like everybody else. There's nothing wrong with being me. So here I am just chilling. And well, that's the resolution to his story, you know, the end. I mean, he croaked, I win. I live. First max extinction under the books. Poor baby. No one will write my story the same. I'm sure something will happen to me. But, well, the cool thing about me is I'm like the Earth's earliest fossil. Yeah, pretty cool. Nothing cooler than that. Pretty much just found a lumps of sand stuck together with algae slime. Yeah, that's my story. So the idea is that, you know what? I'm a character. People call me that all the time. I'm a character, and I like to live in shallow pools of water. That's my setting. And I hang out with the other algae folks, and we breathe, and we expel oxygen, make things green, and all that good stuff. So get out of my way. So that's my story, and that's my character. You all could do something similar, whether it's the first extinction, which we just heard from poor old little bacteria Bublitz, who died off. Could be a second major extinction, third, fourth, or fifth. I'm sure you all figured it out. Until then, I'm just gonna exist, be me. Good old Stromatolite. All right.